So I've been thinking about doing a video to show graphically, like visually, all the different decisions you make in your business, whether you're a tattooer, you own a tattoo shop, you can be a plumber, it doesn't matter what it is. And so that you can visualize how every decision you make will affect the outcome of your business, i.e., how much money you make, what your customer base looks like, whether you're growing, whether you're shrinking, whether you're staying steady. And so as I've been thinking about this, I realized this is going to be a two-part video. I also realized that I look at the stats on all these videos, and you motherfuckers watch these videos for like 25 seconds and then save them for later and then probably never watch them again. This video and the next video, I think it's worth watching both of them. It's going to have a lot of good info. First one's going to be a story time, just to kind of tell you about some decisions I made and how it affected my business. And then the second will be basically a chart, and I'll go through all the different decisions that a tattooer or a tattoo shop can make and how it affects their business. First, let's start with the story time. So 20 years ago, I owned a chain of tattoo shops. I had 4 tattoo shops. They were all illegal. Tattooing was still illegal in Oklahoma. A lot of the young kids don't realize that tattooing wasn't always legal everywhere. And so we were opening up illegal tattoo shops, and it kind of put pressure on the state after arresting tattoo artists enough and trying to close down shops and whatnot. It put pressure on the state to actually do something about it and start changing the law and making things progress forward. And as things progressed forward, we'd go to the Capitol, we'd talk with legislatures, we would just kind of see how the process worked, try to get our input in as much as possible, especially in a very conservative state at those times and how they thought of tattooing, i.e. the passages in the Bible and stuff like that. It was wild. But despite all that adversity, they agreed on a law. It was going to pass. And, I thought along that whole process, I was like, hey, as a state, as a whole, it'd be cool if there was a way for us to celebrate this. And so I thought, hey, maybe I should throw a tattoo convention. It would be the first tattoo convention to ever exist in the state of Oklahoma. That being said, I would have planned this for August, I believe 2006, so right at 20 years ago. And this would have been early spring, probably we're talking about this. And the law hadn't I don't even know if it had gotten voted on. It was definitely going to pass, but it wouldn't have been implemented until November. So setting an August date was setting the date for the first tattoo convention in Oklahoma to be an illegal tattoo convention that technically the cops can come and raid and put the artist in jail. And being that there was going to be a certain amount of risk, I wanted to make sure that we had a draw. And so I put a line in the sand, my line in the sand, and this is very dated, but it is what it is. 20 years ago, tattoo shows were just popping off, and Kat Von D was very popular. And my line in the sand was, if I could get Kat Von D to agree to come to our tattoo convention, I will throw the tattoo convention. And she agreed. So now I have to throw a tattoo convention. So start planning the tattoo convention, normal things, finding a spot for it, even though it was an illegal tattoo convention. Did it. You have to, have the ballroom set up, find a vendor for the ballroom, find entertainment, start booking artists, do all those normal tattoo convention things, right? And so we've got it set up as a regular normal tattoo convention. It's going to be, I believe, in August, the end of August, in Oklahoma City. And my line in the sand had been crossed. Kat Von D had agreed. I paid for her tickets, and all that was taken care of. She was going to show up, and so that would be a draw. And so that was all well and good. That being said, it was always in the back of my head that this is going to technically be an illegal tattoo convention, even though by then the law would have been passed, it wouldn't have been implemented. And so every artist would be breaking the law at this tattoo. And so I really thought about what it would look like if the police showed up and they wanted to arrest people. And I was like, okay, how can we mitigate at all possible this situation? How can we lower the crazy level of this to make it so that this can be a whole weekend thing and that it can go off without a hitch? And so I thought the best thing to do is to fight fire with fire. And through a friend of a friend type situation, I got a hold of some Oklahoma County sheriffs that did off-duty security. Their only hang-up was they can't wear their actual uniforms, but they are still technically sheriffs. They're off-duty. I pay them $20 an hour to be there. This was in 2006, so 20 years ago. And I hire 4 of them to be at the event for the whole weekend. So the event starts Friday, and I believe everything went okay. It was definitely busy. Biggest issue we ran into was it was hot, and the ATM on site kept running out of money. And I believe it was Saturday morning early where I was up at the front counter of the hotel talking with the staff there to try to get the ATM owner back on site to fill this thing up and come every few hours to keep this thing full. And as I'm talking to them, I turn to my right and I look, and a big ass group of cops in uniform, Oklahoma City Police Department, is walking in. Obviously, I shit bricks, and I'm like, motherfucker. Can we just get through this fucking weekend? And so I'm looking at them, and then I slowly turn around, and the main sheriff I've been dealing with that I hired for security, he was just like, and so I just stand there, I turn back around, I continue to do what I was doing. He walks up, he meets them at the door, introduces himself, and they walk in together. Roughly 20 or 30 minutes go by. He's doing a full walk around with them, talking about the security measures they're implementing, introducing him to the other 3 guys on the staff that were hired for the weekend. And lo and behold, they all walk out together, shake hands, and we got to do the whole weekend totally illegally, and nobody got arrested. 2 things on why I told this story. First, I drew a line in the sand with the decision of getting Kat Von D to come to the convention, which made the convention literally elbow to elbow. I've still never been to a convention that was this packed. It was absolute insanity. Number 2 was hiring the sheriff's department to deal with the police department. And without those 2 decisions, this business arrangement, this business decision I made to throw this convention would have gone a completely different way. In the next video, I want to go over how your business decisions every single day as a tattooer, tattoo shop owner, any business owner really affects how much business you have, how much money you make, if you're growing, if you're shrinking, if you're feeling overwhelmed, all those different things. And so I hope you made it through this. I know a lot of you only stayed 25 seconds. Save this, watch it later, hopefully. And then tune in for tomorrow's video, and we'll go over the actual graphic of what it looks like to make all these decisions as a tattooer or a tattoo shop that affect your business.